The NFL Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN, get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. We're also brought to you by SGPN's Ultimate New Year's Eve Party. Hop on the Sports Gambling Podcast YouTube channel for a truly DJ afternoon complete with drafts, pick'ems, and prizes. Live sweats more. The fun starts at 12:30 Pacific time, New Year's Eve. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NFL Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no voice, no guy. It's me, really rough, villain rough, Terrell from Virginia here at your service. And coming off of a great day where we had a very, very good day in Thursday Night Football, I have Scott Studio right show with me. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Overall, went well. I can't complain. Had a nice overall Thursday night game. Not as nice as yours because Elijah Moore scored the touchdown, so that was a nice plus price for you. But I ended up going 3-1 with my bets, 2-1 on the props, and I had the Browns money line. -7 as my lock, and that got there easily. Joe Flacco, apparently still elite, but good for him. Cleveland clinched a playoff spot. Stefanski might win Coach of the Year. Good showing by them. My Jets embarrassed themselves on TV again. It's happened for years, so not exactly shocked, but looking forward to the afternoon games here for Sunday.
Flacco should really be comeback player of the year, like legitly.
I still think Hamlin's going to win it, but I would vote for Flacco if I had a choice.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and talk about these games. We got a short slate for us. 4 games on the afternoon slate in week 17 of NFL action. First game up on the docket is Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks open up -2.5. They're currently laying -3.5. 41 is the total. I mean, it's Tomlin as a dog. It's Tomlin as a dog.
Yep.
You don't just Tomlin as a dog. Tomlin off a dog. Tomlin as a dog. Like, we're just not going to question it. It's Tomlin as a dog. As much as, you kind of want to play an angle for Seattle here that, hey, they've had a bunch of close games and they found a way to get it done and they continue to find ways to get it done. They're making this push for the playoffs. You got to remember, they were also in a bunch of close games that they probably should have lost.
They should have lost to the Eagles, and they almost lost to Ryan Tannehill last week. So I'll pass. I'll take the Steelers +3.5 on the money line.
Yeah, I'm not laying points with.
They had extra prep time too. A reminder, they played earlier in the week against Cincinnati, so they have extra couple days to actually prep for this game.
And you had TJ Watt plus Tomlin plus Steelers as a dog is a pretty good system that I don't like faded.
Yeah. Once again, I don't think Seattle's that good.
Yeah. I think they're okay. Like, but you understand why both of these two teams are 8-7, and ultimately, Tomlin still has to make the streak. Like, he has to continue the streak here. He needs one more win to continue the streak. Do we wait for Baltimore to chance that win? No freaking way. We go ahead and we get the win now, and we know we can get it on the road at Seattle, where Seattle team probably, could be like, I guess I know they're playing for their playoff lives, but man, when I say that they probably should have lost a couple of these games already, I think that Pittsburgh is the only way to go.
This game screams potential. If Seattle's going to win, it's going to be a 1-possession game. So even if Seattle's winning 3.5, still feels like a pretty good deal because this game could finish on 3. So I'm taking Pittsburgh. I think they're going to win. I feel pretty good about it, to be honest. Mason Rudolph looked good in his first start. Now, I will admit a lot of it was yak. He threw a slant pass to Pickens, and he ran about 80 yards, but still, he looked good back there. The defense looked good against Browning and Cincinnati. Maybe they turned a corner. Maybe they figured something out. But Seattle, I'm still not impressed on. A win's a win, but barely beating Ryan Tannehill and a bad Tennessee team isn't going to wow me by any means. Give me the Steelers money line at probably around +135, 140.
All right. Yeah. Total 41. I'm on the under.
I think I'm going to lean under because Seattle barely scored against Tennessee, but I don't feel great about it. But I think I'll lean under. I think Rudolph's not going to be as good, but I also don't think that Geno's going to throw like 2 or 3 picks like Browning did. So I'm going to lean to the under, hoping that both quarterbacks don't give up a bunch of short fields.
All right. Next game on the slate to the loss. I mean, this is just, I don't know. I actually am kind of higher on these two teams after recent, But the Los Angeles Chargers are on the road, going to play division rival Denver Broncos. Broncos open up -1. They're currently -3.5. Not 236. I'm over here thinking I'm in the freaking NBA. 36.5 is total here. For the Los Angeles Chargers, we are now moved on past Brandon Staley, so I actually like this team a little bit more now. And for the Denver Broncos, it looks like that they're moving past Russell Wilson. And so is now bringing and check out see what Denver has to offer. While they just not interesting term of development. I don't know if that's either like, do we fade Broncos for that or do we back them?
I saw Stidham play a bit last year. It's actually pretty funny because the exact same situation that happened to Derek Carr last year is happening to Russell Wilson now. And Jarrett Stidham was the backup quarterback for Derek Carr. It's the same exact situation, but now he's starting the last couple games. I thought Stidham was fine last year. He barely played, but he almost beat the Niners. You might remember that game. So he had some moments last year. Now, I don't think Stidham's that good. I don't think Russ is that good either. So you can argue the drop-off isn't going to be that noticeable. I guess the question, though, is you're looking at the Chargers, who had extra prep time for this game because they lost that heartbreaker to Buffalo in what was a close game. New coach angle, which gave him a little bit of a spark. I understand the line dropped, but I don't know if Russ is actually worth like 3 points compared to Stidham. I think I'm going to lean Chargers. It's kind of a toilet bowl vibe to it where I think I'm just going to take the points.
That's ultimately how I came to my decision. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and give it to him.
I know Denver's record isn't arguably bad enough, but watching this team play offense, it's a toilet bowl game. Like, I just can't. But I'm going to lean Chargers in an ugly game. Stick, I might have underestimated. He's not good enough to start. He can be a backup in the league for a couple years. Like, he's mobile. He can create some plays here and there. But I'm looking at the Broncos, kind of seeing their playoff hopes fade into oblivion as they lost to the Patriots at home. If you lose to New England at home, I'm not picking it to cover 3.5 against the Chargers in a division rivalry game. Give me the Chargers with a new coach. At least they showed a life against a playoff team in Buffalo. That's good enough for me. I'll take the 3.5.
Yeah, I'm taking the points. I'm not laying with Denver. I'll just take the points. Say Denver wins by 3 and call it a day. I like the under 36.5.
I think I'm going to lean over, actually. I think I'm going to lean over. I'm not going to treat it the exact same way as the Jets-Browns game yesterday, but I leaned to the over in that game solely because I just thought that total was too low. I think 36.5 is too low. I do think that Stidham's going to look fine. So once again, I don't see much of a drop-off between Wilson and Stidham, which means I'm expecting Denver to score like 20 points. And I think that stick is decent enough. I know that New England had a defensive or special teams touchdown. I get it. New England still scored a lot of points in that game. Like, they moved the ball pretty well. If Zappe's going to move the ball against you, I think stick can. So I'm going to lean to the over. I think 36.5 is just too low. It won't go over by much, but I think it finds a way into the high 30s, low 40s. So I'll lean over.
Okay, I'm with you. I feel that. All right. So before we get to the next game slate, got to talk to you about our New Year's Eve party at SGPN live stream over at youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. We have a whole bunch of guests, a whole bunch of superstars on the stream, live pick'ems, live drafts, live sweeps, and of course prizes. Sunday, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time, New Year's Eve, the ultimate New Year's Eve party at SGPN. We're also brought to you by PrizePicks. I mean, this is the most fun I've ever had trying to win up to 25x of my own money. You can do it in basketball with the combo picks between basketball and football. Like, you can get a Travis Kelce, LeBron James little stat pick going on there. You can also have the injury.
Throw interceptions. Throw that in there too.
Yep, 100%. You have the reboot bonus and the injury insurance. It's the only fantasy sports platform with injury insurance where if your player gets hurt in the first half and doesn't return the second half, that player's rebooted, and you don't have to worry about anything. You got the void like you want. I mean, it's nothing else really to say. Go to PrizePicks.com/SGPN. Use code SGPN for a first deposit match of $200. That's PrizePicks.com/SGPN. Code SGPN. PrizePicks, daily fantasy sports made easy. All right. We got 2 more games to talk about here. Cincinnati Bengals going into Burrowhead, as they coined it. to
Well, Burrow's
play
not,
the
so I guess it's back to
to
Arrowhead
play
now.
the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I thought it was back to Arrowhead after they bumped them out the playoffs en route to winning
That
another
too.
Super
I'm
Bowl.
saying Burrow's not even playing, so that's fine.
-3 for where KC opened up at. They are now -6.5. 44 is the total. We saw Jake Browning look like a backup last week.
Yep.
Does he go back looking like a superstar this week against Kansas City?
I don't know what to make of Kansas City's performance last week because they ended up losing, but they gave up 0 offensive touchdowns and they had back-to-back defensive touchdowns allowed. So Kansas City outplayed them the entire game, basically. The Raiders had no completions in the final 3 quarters of the game, and they still lost, which is almost impossible to do. I can't lay 7 with Kansas City. I just can't do it. Cincinnati, I know they have injuries. Chase is still going to be, injured. We'll see what his story is, but they have extra prep time after losing to Pittsburgh. I know the Bengals, you can argue, are falling apart, maybe, but I don't think Kansas City's good. We do the power rankings every week with all of the hosts, and then we compile the average rating.
And with a grain of salt, because you guys have been disrespecting Kansas City all year. So I
was going to say I did not have Kansas City on my ratings last week.
No, a lot of people didn't. They didn't even make our top 10, even though I had them pretty far up. But it's because, you guys have been disrespecting Kansas City all year. This is what Kansas City does every single season. And it's just maybe to a little bit of a higher extent this year, but they always have that run where they probably lose to maybe 3 games or something like that, and everybody doubts them, and then they go on a run to end the season and then parlay that into an AFC championship berth. So I'm comfortable with laying the number with Kansas City here. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to move the ball on this Bengals defense that is incredibly soft. And the defense has been the story for Kansas City all season. I don't think that Jake Browning is going to come out there and look like a man possessed against this defensive front. I think they're going to be able to get to the quarterback. They're going to get him uncomfortable, and they're going to put him in situations where he's going to turn the ball over. So Browning has been really good. I think he'll have his moments, yes, but this Kansas City defense, I think, is really, really live, and they're what carries them into the win today. Yeah, the number is a little bit much, but I'll lay it with Kansas City. I think Kansas City wins. It's actually going to be close. I actually got them winning by the hook. Give me 17-10.
I think that's kind of the point, is that I think that even if you expect Kansas City to wake up at some point, they were never very good at covering big spreads. I think Cincinnati hangs in there. I'm not sure if they're going to win, but I think it's going to be a 1-possession game late, so I'll take the 7.
All right. 44. I like the under. Do you like the under?
I can't take an over with the Chiefs game. I just can't do it. This offense isn't very good. It sucks. They were one of the most fun teams imaginable, but they're boring. I can't take overs with their games. I'll lean to the under.
All right. Next game, last game on the slate. Whew, Scott, we're making time here.
Yep.
Green Bay Packers on the road going to play the Minnesota Vikings in a division.
New quarterback.
For the
Vikings. They told Mullins to take a hike.
Oh, who's starting?
They're using Jaren Hall.
Oh, Jaren Hall again? Oh, okay. All right. -3 for the Vikings. -1 now. 43.5 is total. Jaren Hall in at quarterback versus Jordan Love.
I'm going to give the edge to Love there. I just haven't seen enough from Hall.
Yeah, but this... Honestly, I'm just fading Green Bay. This is fair.
They've not been good lately. They almost lost to Carolina last week.
This is a fade of Green Bay's defense. The Green Bay defense is horrible for a team that's been trying to continuously reload the defensive side of the ball for years now. And they just took their best defender on defense and gave him a 1-game suspension for conduct detrimental to the team by him. One, I don't know how he even got, I don't know how that even happened. It is a really funny story. I don't know how that happened on your side. I don't know how you come to Charlotte and you don't let Jair Alexander even get an opportunity to go out there and maybe be quiet as a silent captain, but be out there. And one, I'm actually disappointed in Jair Alexander for not knowing the terminology to say. As a guy who has played 0 minutes in the NFL, I know the terminology to say when you get up there for the coin toss. So
I thought the move was always you just say we elect to. I thought that's usually the phrase you just say.
I mean, I don't even care about the we elect to part. Just say we defer to the second half or kick. He said, I want the defense out there. What does that mean? What does that mean, Kobe Bryant? Does that mean, Kobe Bryant? Like
Get on the best.
And they suspend him for it. Fine, okay. Did anything bad happen of it? No. Suspension, 1 game suspension in a playoff race that you're not out of yet on one of your best defenders. Yeah, all right. I'm fading this Green Bay team. Just give me Minnesota. I really
To this
didn't
day,
care.
by
I
the
didn't
way,
have
that's
a
still
hand in care.
probably like one of my favorite commercials. But are you a different animal and the same beast? Fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? It's
Like,
such a great
yeah,
commercial. But
I'm fading it. I'm fading this Green Bay team. Give me Minnesota.
both teams are banged up though, because Hawkins is out for the year. Shame what happened
Yep.
to him. His knee got destroyed. And he's having a
But
great
do
year.
we really need him? We have Justin Jefferson and no
Nobody can
Jair
guard
Alexander.
Jefferson, especially with Jair being out. So I think Jefferson might go for 200 yards. That's going to be the interesting part, though. Do you think Hall can actually get him the ball? Mullins had 400 yards last week and 4 interceptions.
I think he
might be the only backup quarterback of all time to get benched after a 400-yard game, but the turnovers were brutal, and I do think they needed some stability there, at least to limit the mistakes. Hall's more mobile, so he can run a little bit. We saw that at BYU. I do think that Minnesota is – I think it's going to be a very close game. I love the over in this game. I see a lot of points, so I love the over as my favorite play. But I think for this one, you know what? I'm going to go with Minnesota.
Yes,
let's do it.
Like let's fade this
Minnesota at home. It's a night game division. It's going to be a very solid atmosphere there in Minnesota. Packers almost lost to Carolina. Bryce Young had a career game against you, and now Jair's out. I think Minnesota can move the ball, but I love the over. I think the total is too low.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm all over the over. And matter of fact, just to go ahead and throw out there, I know we didn't really talk about props, and we're going to talk about it in the show with our PrizePicks lineups, but Justin Jefferson needs hold on. I just sent it in a group chat because I thought it was a good play on Jefferson for this week and next week. He needs 177 yards to get to 1,000 on the season to continue of having a streak of 1,000 yards.
He has 2 weeks. He might get that.
I think he is. I think he's going to get majority of it this game. I really think he's going to get majority. Like, who else are you throwing the ball to? Why would you try to throw the ball to anybody else? If he's open, continue
Addison.
to throw the ball.
That's
there.
basically it. And we know they
Addison's
can't run
hurt.
the ball.
Addison's out.
Oh, that's right. Addison's hurt. Osborne, yes. They can't run the ball.
Bro, it's Jefferson, bro. Jefferson's going to have like
10 of course it's Jefferson. But I'm saying he might go for like 10 catches, 190, and it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I'm all over it. I'm all over Justin Jefferson this week. I think we ladder Justin Jefferson all the way up, and that's how we make our money in this game. I'm with you on over though. Even though it's Sunday Night Football, I'm with you on over. I'm sorry. I'm completely out on this Green Bay team. Like, I'm completely out on this Green Bay team. That was just fine. Nobody told you had to suspend him. Nobody said you had to suspend him. Nobody.
It's also a meaningful game. I would have probably waited to
You're trying to make the playoffs. You're trying to
over.
make the playoffs. You're trying to make the playoffs. You're trying to make the playoffs. And Jaren Hall was announced the starter, and you take away one of your best defenders. They deserve to lose this game. I'm over Green Bay in the decision.
I'm not a big LaFleur guy. I made a case for him to win Coach of the Year if they could win the division. It was mostly just a spot with the price. I don't think he's a good coach. I just thought it was a decent spot for the narrative.
I'm completely over that Green Bay team. All right. Before we get to our lock dog and a PrizePicks lineup, gotta talk to you about Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research everything from the NFL, NBA, soccer with historical stats and data, and you can enter a parlay idea into the revolutionary parlay optimizer tool. Get the hit rates broken down by leg. You get an expected probability. You get all of that. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app. Visit HOFBets.com. HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start researching. Start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right. For my lock.
Are you going with that over?
Nah, give me the under in the Cincinnati and Kansas City Chiefs game, under 44. I understand that even though Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time, his offense isn't that good this year, and he's throwing the ball to a bunch of bums, to be honest. And you have this really, really good defense, and they've been playing off the back of the defense. And how have they been getting covers all year at this number is because the defense has been playing really well, limited the other team to scoring points, which they did last week. It just so happened that Patrick Mahomes gave them 14 free ones, but yeah, under 44. I will take that as my lock. For my dog, it's clearly Pittsburgh. Like, there's not even a chance in my mind it's anybody else than Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's going to get this done. The streak stays alive, and all is well in the NFL. Let's go, Mike Tomlin as a dog.
All right. So for me, my lock's going to be Pittsburgh plus 3.5. I thought about the money line, but I like a play more with a bigger price as my dog. Give me Steelers plus 3.5. Tomlin as a dog, extra prep time. TJ Watt's healthy. I don't think Seattle's that good. A lot of reasons to like Pittsburgh in the spot. So I'll jump in at plus 3.5 as my lock. For my dog, give me Justin Jefferson over 109.5 receiving yards at plus 270. I think that's a very good price. I think Jefferson might be in line for 150 in this game. Alexander's not going to play. You can ladder it up. We talked about it before. But 109.5 at plus 270, hell yeah, I'm going to take that. That's a great price. That'll be my dog.
All right, PrizePicks lineup. I already threw Justin Jefferson more than 77.5 receiving yards in there.
That's such a low number in general. 77.5 is crazy.
I lied.
That's
It's 78.5. I lied. It's
Either way, it's still low as hell.
I also took the liberty of adding Jordan Love more than half interception.
Okay.
I think that this Vikings defense under Brian Flores is very, very opportunistic.
They're gonna send the house at him every play, so I'm fine with that. You
All right,
want
give me
Geno
one more.
over half?
Do we have?
It is against
Geno?
Pittsburgh. That does check out pretty well.
I have Geno. The only people that we have in the late slate is Pat, Jaron, and Aiden O'Connell. Oh wait, Aiden O'Connell. No, I lied. Aiden O'Connell is no, that's not. That's in the 1 o'clock slate. I'm sorry.
Okay. Trying to think if there's any players that I actually like in any of these games. Like Pickens is tempting, but all his production's from like 1 or 2 catches every game. So you're kind of threading the needle there. I don't trust the ground game. Do you have anything you like?
Let's see here. We can go for.
Do they have like stick rushing yards or something?
Yeah, we can. Let's see if we can find Easton stick rushing yards. I cashed at any time. I almost had a 2 touchdown bet on him last week. No, I don't have. Oh wait, 19.5.
Any thoughts?
I mean, they got to unleash him as a rusher at some point, right?
I don't know about that because we're talking about the Chargers, so I don't know what they are actually going to do half the time. But let me just look at his rushing yards last game because he's mobile, but they don't really call him any design runs for him, which is kind of annoying. So let me just quickly see what his rushing yards was last week. He had 25. He had 7 carries. I mean, he had one run though for 21 yards. So you're looking for like an outlier there.
Let's take it.
Okay, you want to take it? All right.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so we have Easton Stick more, 19.5 rushing yards. We have Jordan Love more than half interception. And we have Justin Jefferson more than 78.5 receiving yards. So those 3 picks in your underdog contest will pay 5-1. $20 gets you $100. $100 gets you $500. Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
No, not really. Nice and short episode. And a reminder that we're gonna be done with the Thursday night games because there are none left. But we're back once again for week 18 for the afternoon games.
Yep. And so if you're watching us on YouTube right now, shout out to the 3 people. Make sure you like the video on your way out. For anybody else that pops in on YouTube afterward, make sure you like the video before you hit exit. And for everybody listening to us wherever they get your podcast, make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and review and subscribe and all of that good stuff. Other than that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast, just kind of like this. We are out of here.